for the walk. Or get your mats if you're going to do some stretch outs. Get your weights. If you're going to lift some weights. Get your chair if you're going to do some chair exercises. Line up if you're going to walk wall to wall. Jump on your bike if you're biking. Start your treadmill if you're walking. Come on. Great bar isn't y'all. Ha ha! Thanks for coming on the walk. Like, comment, share, tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend, subscribe. Subscribe. Okay. Let's see how the girl is doing today. We can't find anyone to come and adjust her. So I guess you might throw away treadmills. But I had some friends that had some treadmills that, well, they were basically clothes hangers. But those clothes hangers lasted they never really used them. They put clothes on them, so I guess it would last them a lot of years. But I tend to wear my treadmill walking. I wear it out. Yes, y'all. Ooh. Like, comment, share, tell uncle, tell auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend, subscribe. Yes, indeed, y'all. I don't know how you old people does it. Without exercising. How do you get your relief? How do you get rid of your stress? You go running around getting aggravated, running back and forth to the doctor, talking to telemarketers. Anywho, I'm not talking about me. Oh, yes, y'all, yes. Well, we're going to try the garage today with my roller skates, yes. Yes. We're going to try the garage. Yep. And that way, whenever I want to do a little roller skating, something like that, I can just go out there and do it. I don't need no drivers, nothing. Just things for me to move around and try to get my balance and get more comfortable on skates. By the time you get back up there to the roller skating rink, I'll be a roller skating mama. Oh, well, let me tell you about the maggot story. My father, sperm donor, Elijah, he was a Elijah Muhammad Muslim. I told y'all that before. That was his cult of choice. Ever since they had him standing up on the back of that bus from Virginia to South Carolina, when he was coming from the Korean War, hate was in his heart. So the Muslim cult, Elijah Muhammad Muslim cult, kind of regulated his rage. They was all raging, punching around my stepmother and stuff. But other than that, so he wanted to show how much different he was from the common low-life black person. And one of the ways, especially the Muslims did to show that they're better than, because all cults have their angle. Well, for Elijah, the angle was not Elijah Muhammad, Muslim cult leader, but Elijah, my sperm donor. He only like stupid, low life or lower class black people eat pork. And that's why they dying. And that's why they so crazy. And that's why they're so out of control. And you say, what does one thing have to do with the other? Anyway, that was my health for like 2.5 years. Anyway. So, everything that a person does, it was that horrible, horrible pork. And I remember one time I got my stepmother in such trouble. I really didn't know how much trouble I got her in. Though I was the oldest of their kids, I was the baby of my mother's kids. So I didn't have the role of the older child. That was my sister Dory. I was the baby and I was the spoiled. That was my position. But for some reason, how they worked it out, that if I came to live with my father, that I would be a domestic helper for my stepmother. Leslie ain't raised her daughter for that. Hell no, she ain't raised me for that. She was like, education, how to get it. Anyway, I didn't know how really strict the no pork because of the maggots was. And he always showed the maggots, if you touch pork, you get maggots on your hands. If the pork touch the plate, the maggots gonna grow out the plate. Every cult has its thing. So, I remember my stepmother sending me to the store for pastrami. I had never heard of pastrami in my whole life. I was 12. Now, I heard of pastrami. What is the other one? Pastrami, the Italian sausage one, the pork one. Anyway, she sent me to the store for that. And it was supposed to be pastrami is beef and the other thing is pork. Well, I came back with the pork thing. I didn't know the difference. And she freaked. She freaked. I couldn't understand what she was freaking about. I took her last little change, $5, and brought home a whole couple pounds of pork. And how was she going to explain that to Elijah? And she freaked. Now, worms would be in the house, and the worms, and the worms, and the worms, and the maggots, and maggots, and maggots. And then the maggots in your brain, and then the maggots in your liver. Now, my mother, Leslie, she ate pork. I used to have bacon and grits. Because Miss Maggie, on Sunday, she always made Sunday breakfast. She always called me up. And I used to call them, I had a language problem. I didn't call them grits, I call them vits or grits. And she used to say, call down, Vicki, they're from North Carolina, Vicki, come over here and get you some grits, some eggs and bacon. Or sometimes she called me and said, and some eggs and sausage. Girl, I couldn't get up those stairs fast enough. And her grits, excuse me, were always creamy. And that butter, oh, whew. So, I didn't know about the maggots. I didn't know anything about the maggots. But I got my stepmother into a lot of trouble. That's not the first time, that's like the second or third time. So when my grandmother came and got me, I was like, yeah, let me get out of here, because if not, whew, you're going to beat her to a pulp. Anyway, as an adult, when I go down south, okay, and my grandmother takes me to meet one of her sisters, she's my grand aunt, and I walk in there, and there's a pig's head sitting in this metal bucket in the kitchen. So I stared at it. I wanted to see the maggots start coming out of it. I didn't see no maggots. And that was like the pig. I did not see no maggots. So then, I grow up on my own. And I said, I gotta try that maggot story. Is that maggot story thing really, really real? Is it really, really real? Really? So I took a piece of bacon and I put it out on the table for like 2 days. It started smelling, but there was no maggots. So in my head I'm saying, the maggots come from somewhere, but it doesn't come from where the pork is. They come from somewhere, but not this pork situation. So I forget about it. And I go on, and still, my father's going on with his pork thing. That's why he don't eat pork thing, and how pork thing is, got a fly in here. Pork thing in Christianity is is neck and neck, and the pork and the white man and the Christian, they all tied up and everything together for this Muslim sperm donor of mine. And so I get a little older, and I'm heavy into true crime. Anybody knows me, heavy into true crime. I used to read the books and everything before. I read true crime magazines, okay? That's how far we're going back to true crime. Because crimes were committed against me, I had to get some understanding of what's going on, and I knew, it's just not only me. Anyway, it was Forensics Files, or one of those things. And, of course, it was a dead body decaying. And, of course, the flies came through. The flies came in. Yep. Flies came in. And I guess it's some part of the science, forensic science, where they look at the maggots, how long you have been dead, when the fly lays the larvae, that's what they call it, lays the larvae on the dead body, and I'm like, those are maggots. That's the same maggots that I see in the garbage pail down south. We used to have to, the boys used to have to wash them out because the flies would get in there and lay eggs. So now I'm putting it together. And of course, good old forensic science said the only way maggots or fly larvae gets on anything is if a fly lands on the food and lays the larvae. No other way. No other way. So those pictures and stuff, they used to have it in the final call. My father would get the final call. That would be pictures of the pork and the maggots. Pork don't make maggots. Flies make maggots. If flies hit on anything, that's what they have, shoe fly, shoe fly pie, shoe fly. Because you don't, even though I got two flies running around here like they pay rent. You shoo them away because they will land and lay larvae, maggots. So, pork does not make maggots. Flies make maggots. So, I'll tell you all the second half when we come back. Let's take a break. Oh, I gotta get my fly swatter. This weather has been so crazy. I'm walking, y'all, trying to save my feet and toes. I said I'm walking down. Okay, I don't think I'm sweating too much. Okay. Okay, where's the fly swatter? Because if I stop walking down upstairs, they'll cut me up. This fly is bugging me, y'all. Where's my water at? Trying to save my feet and toes. Yeah, I said I'm walking, y'all. Trying to stay ahead of the show. Oh, yeah. If I stop walking, y'all. Yeah. The game's gonna trip me. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Come walk with me and save your feet. Oh, somebody popped in? Ha Wow. Hey, Nielsen, thanks for coming on the walk. How you doing? Cause if I stop walking now. Yes. So, and I'm telling you, that is a big fly. When I tell you that is a big fly, when I hit it with my fly swatter, y'all will hit it all the way. Where? To New York. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. I'm jumping back on. Oh, good to know. Nelson said he's great. Me too, Nelson. I'm great too. Oh, much love. So, hope you're doing good. But I read all your posts and stuff like that, so I see your family shots. I'm talking to Nielsen. Okay, let me get back to the walk. Hold on. A camera did something. Just that fast. Just that fast, camera did something. Maybe I didn't tighten something. It beats like that sometimes. Okay. So now, that was my father's sperm donor claim to fame, these maggots in the pork. And the pork hit the maggots, and then the lowly Negro, colored, African American, black person eats the pork. Then they get worms in the head, worms in the brains, and that's why they drink and fight and sell drugs, and see it's all tied up. So, like all the things with cults, I was pissed. I was like, why are you lying for? As T.S. Madison says, y'all gonna put worse things than porks in your mouth and in your bellies. Okay? Every day and often. But you don't eat pork because it gives you just say don't eat pork. But I'm going to tell you something about a hungry body. It'll eat whatever it can get. Okay? Let me tell you about a starving body. it can eat what it can get. I mean, we talk about China, and they eat this, they eat bats and stuff like that. Y'all just forgot, maybe 60 years ago, 5 million Chinese people starved. Okay? When you're starving, things you never eat, you eat. So if you're starving, you eat pork. And ain't no maggots in them. You want maggots in your stomach and in your body, eat a fly. The acid don't take them out, I don't know what. But that was a whole big lie. The whole basis for that cult in the final call. Maggots. Science. We're the most intelligent. We're the most this. Maggots don't come from pork. Maggots come from flies. How do you clean that up as a cult after all these freaking years of pushing that fucking narrative? Flies make maggots or larvae, and pigs make foot chunks. Okay, smoking down the gravy. Anyway. But that's the thing with these cults. That's how they are. They lie to you, they give you this delusion, but that becomes your family. I'm so grateful for DNA. Because now I can clearly say, there is my DNAers, and there are people I consider to be my family. And they are two different people. The two have never met and probably will never meet. My DNAers don't know me, don't know nothing about me, except that I'm related to them by blood, so you should be able to do a lot of really horrible things to me because we share DNA, and I should just take it. And then there's the family, and those are people who know you, love you, have worked with you, have supported you. Yeah. If something were to happen to me besides my daughter, other than that, I wouldn't put my DNAers down as emergency contact. I just put them, when I had to do this thing with the lawyer, I put them in there, but not as far as, it's more like distribution of than emergency or anything like that. Never entered my mind. Since in my 20s, I kind of know don't go to them. I'm 60 now. I done got the lesson, 40 years. I know. If you get in trouble, don't come over here to the DNAers. So it never entered my mind. Even when I went to work. I was so glad when my daughter was old enough, because I used to put down fake people's names. I knew my DNAs would never respond or come to my rescue in the crisis. They never did it before. Never. I told y'all, on my mother's side, I have my nieces and nephews, everything just think I'm their mother's good Judy. They don't see it as being any blood at all. I'm just their mother's good Judy. And on the other side, well, I was the bastard, the one that didn't stay married. No, I wasn't taking them punches. Better women than me. Better women than me. Okay? I wasn't doing that. So, on that side, I'm like, Auntie nothing. So it never really, I never put them down. I'm just so grateful they didn't have to do my contact. There was a time I used to use my girlfriend Annie Pearl as my emergency contact. My girlfriend Suzanne Ford, emergency contact. And they were like my family. I would never think to put in my real DNAers. They would never show up. No way, no how, honey. So, it's all about the cults. The division of the families, the division, that's the bullshit. These pimps in the pulpit, penis baby suckers, and pedophiles in robes and caps. They teach that, but it's just so y'all get together and give them money. But your family is who in your life you depend on. And none of it falls under the people who share my DNA. I'd be more afraid. I'd be like, no. They don't even know nothing about me. I don't know what was spread through the family about me. But I don't get phone calls, letter, cards, or nothing. Don't put me with them strangers. Yes, we share DNA, but other than that, they're strangers. No way, Jose. So, I was glad when my daughter got old enough and I could finally put her down as emergency contact. But over years, even when I was married, I didn't put... I had to put my husband's name down because I had to when I said I was married. But when I was in labor, I left him and hailed a cab and brought the cab back to the house to pick him up. So clearly, he is not who you call in case of emergency. So I was like, please don't have me. Please don't call him, please. But that's the contact. So I was so happy when I could take him off my contact. Emergency contact. Yeah. So, that's my maggot story. It always leads back to a cult story. But that's who their family is. My sisters are my DNA sisters. They're part of big cults. You know, with the cult leaders or pimping the pulpits. And that person sitting next to the pew, to them they call sister. To them they call brother. Not the person that has the DNA. If you're not part of their cult, you're really not their sister and your brother. You just share DNAs. Stop trying to get into, we're supposed to be together. No. The family that you pick, that you know will come through, that's what you work with. If people don't want to be bothered with you, even if you share the same DNA, let them go. They're not going to come to your aid in an emergency. They're not going to do anything for you. And they don't have to. Just because you share DNA does not give them an obligation. If you're in the same cult, sitting in the same pew, seeing that same woman at church and at other times, that is your family. That is your sister. That's the one you wake up in the middle of the night for and run out for. You see each other every cult meeting or every cult event. That's your sister. Not the DNA-er. So I want to tell a lot of people that, oh, I want to say, no, honey. No. They're kind of like strangers. They're kind of like strangers. The cult is a family. My mother would do, my grandmother did anything. She made sure she had her ties for the cult if the DNA people had to suffer. You see? That's their family. We're going to get our weights. Yes, that's their family. So no, I would never put them down. And no. Who do we call? Who you call is already here, and it's my ancestors. And they've been protecting me so far, so that's what I roll with. And like I said, I have friends. Tuck your elbow in. And they're not obligated to come. We're friends, so it's something that you naturally do to help one another. Not them DNAs, child. Okay, now up, no down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 for good luck. Guess what I did wrong? I didn't squeeze my gut. I didn't make sure that elbow was up in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 for good luck. Now I gotta do the other side too, because I didn't squeeze in the gut, tuck in the elbow. Not up, no down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good luck. Whew. I don't know what's going on with the YouTube lighting. Okay, squeeze your gut, tuck in that elbow. Neither up nor down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1. Okay, there we are. Yes, y'all, yes. The 5-pound used to sit up here. 8-pound used to sit up here pretty good too. Like, comment, share. Tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Have a great day. Oh, yes, I'll be putting up the new episode for the 3rd season of the Pond Moves First podcast. Me and Ralph are enjoying this season. Oh, it's good to see you too, Nelson. All right, y'all. Thanks for coming on the walk. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.